The warm, humid air of the Amazon pressed down on Francisco Orellana. His makeshift boat carved a path through the uncharted river, his gaze fixed on the gleaming cities rising from the dense green. He could not have known the invisible force already moving. Silently and swiftly, it moved across the waters. This force would soon reshape everything he saw and understood. Within a single generation, 90% of the population he encountered would vanish. Their great cities were reclaimed by the very jungle they had tamed. For centuries, the vast Amazon was painted as an untouched, primeval wilderness. Its dense canopy was too formidable. Its soils were too poor to sustain complex civilization. Those who spoke of grand cities were often met with scorn. Their accounts were dismissed as romantic fiction or fevered ravings. The prevailing academic wisdom suggested only scattered, smaller groups could endure such an environment. Yet, this long-held narrative is now being dramatically rewritten, not by a lone explorer's journal, but by technology peering through time. The story begins in 1541 with Francisco Orellana. A Spanish conquistador, he accidentally became the first European to journey the Amazon River. He was second in command to Gonzalo Pizarro, brother of the Inca conqueror. Their desperate quest was for the fabled land of cinnamon and El Dorado. As their expedition succumbed to starvation deep within the jungle, Orellana took a small crew and a hastily built boat downstream, hoping to find provisions. The river's current was too strong for their return, so they drifted thousands of miles toward the Atlantic. They meticulously recorded every detail of their involuntary odyssey. Orellana's journals painted a picture far removed from an empty wilderness. He described colossal, white-painted cities stretching for miles along the riverbanks. An advanced network of highways and roads reached deep into the interior. Thousands of warriors assembled on the shore, ready to confront them. Upon his eventual return to Spain, Orellana was met with profound skepticism. Accused of deserting Pizarro, his tales of grand urban centers were dismissed. They were seen as an attempt to inflate his findings and avoid punishment. Decades later, when other explorers followed his route, the cities were gone. They found only smaller communities in the encroaching, impenetrable jungle. For 400 years, Orellana's incredible account was relegated to the realm of fantasy. This historical dismissal began to shift with archaeologists like Stefan Rosten. For over 40 years, Rosten dedicated his life to Amazon fieldwork. Many peers viewed this pursuit as chasing shadows. He was among a tiny group of brave, persistent researchers who believed something significant lay hidden. In Ecuador's Upano Valley, he patiently sifted through the earth. He unearthed pottery fragments and subtle soil changes that hinted at past human activity. His compelling discoveries were largely overlooked by academics. They were bound by environmental determinism theory. This theory stated Amazon's poor soil could not sustain large-scale agriculture. It also claimed it could not sustain complex urban life. Without grand stone ruins, like Maya or Romans, Amazonian findings were often classified as ethnography. These were artifacts of primitive cultures, not advanced civilization. The tide turned decisively in 2021 with the advent of LIDAR technology. Billions of laser pulses fired from drones and helicopters penetrate the dense forest canopy. They map the ground below with astonishing precision. This technology digitally removes foliage that obscured everything for centuries. It reveals ghostly imprints of past civilizations. They appear like fossilized footprints on the earth. The images from Ecuador's Upano Valley spoke a new, undeniable language. They displayed perfect squares and rectangles, the foundations of homes and ceremonial structures. Strikingly, clear lines connected them, like ancient highways. These linked communities across vast distances, much like Roman roads. In 2024, Stefan Rosten announced these findings. The world finally acknowledged what he had known for decades. The laser scans provided visual evidence for European academics. They could no longer ignore this evidence of urban planning. Orellana had not been a liar, nor had he suffered from jungle fever. He had witnessed the twilight of a vibrant civilization. Researchers believe European diseases Orellana's crew carried. Indigenous populations had no immunity to them. This caused a devastating population decline of up to 90% in decades. Millions maintained these cities, built largely of earth and wood. Without them, The jungles swiftly reclaimed them within a generation. These discoveries are merely the beginning. Prehistoric Amazonian civilization supported millions. It potentially rivaled the grandeur of the Maya. City by city, the long-held narrative of a primitive South America is being rewritten. This reevaluation of ancient landscapes extends beyond the Amazon. Historians describe the Rub al-Khali, empty quarter of the Arabian Peninsula. It was a barren, uninhabited wasteland of sand and rock. Stretching over 250,000 square miles, it appeared to be nothing but an endless sea of dunes. Yet, beneath this shifting desert, civilization also lies concealed. Traditional ground surveys were slow and often fruitless. Optical satellite images struggled to penetrate the sand and dust storms. Enter a team of scientists from Khalifa University in Abu Dhabi, led by atmospheric scientist Diana Francis. They deployed a machine learning algorithm combined with synthetic aperture radar, SAR, imagery. SAR, akin to LIDAR but using radio waves, can detect objects beneath sand, earth, and even ice. This technology, refined by new machine learning algorithms, it offered an unprecedented window into the desert's hidden past. By training AI with data from known sites like Sarik al-Hadid, the algorithm learned to identify subtle indicators of buried structures. The radar scans now reveal an extensive network of ancient settlements, where once only sand was perceived. This fusion of AI and radar points to new archaeological sites. It can also generate 3D models of these structures, before they were engulfed by the sands of time. Dubai is now preparing for large-scale excavations. This promises to uncover deep roots of civilization in a landscape once believed to be utterly empty. Across the oceans, in North America, our understanding of early human ingenuity is also shifting. When we envision ancient hunter-gatherers, the image of a bow and arrow often comes to mind. Yet, new evidence suggests this iconic weapon arrived surprisingly late to the continent. Radiocarbon dating of 136 ancient preserved weapons reveals a fact. The bow and arrow appeared in North America only 1,400 years ago. This roughly corresponds to the 6th century AD. Before this, the primary projectile weapon was the atlatl. This spear thrower propelled heavier darts with considerable speed and distance. While effective, the atlatl required bulky spears. It was less convenient than easily carried quivers of arrows. The adoption of this new technology varied across the continent. In the Pacific Northwest, indigenous peoples used atlatl alongside the bow. They did so for over 1,000 years, selecting the best tool. It was suited for the specific hunt or prevailing weather. The atlatl, being less susceptible to extreme winds or heavy snow, offered reliability in challenging conditions. In drier northern Mexico and California, the bow and arrow was swiftly embraced. The atlatl quickly faded from use. This divergence highlights how environmental factors shaped technological choices. The narrative of early North American weaponry is more nuanced than imagined. Daily lives of ancient rulers and subjects are re-examined through modern scientific lenses. Historians viewed drug use in ancient Egypt as rare and controlled. It was confined to specific rituals or highest society echelons. However, a significant study from Yale, led by Andrew Cole, has unveiled compelling evidence to the contrary. Chemical analysis of an ancient Egyptian alabaster vase revealed clear traces of opium. This vase dates from King Xerxes' reign. Xerxes was the Persian ruler of the Achaemenid Empire for 186 to 465 BC. His empire notably included Egypt. The vase inscription is in 4 languages: Egyptian, Elamite, Persian, Akkadian. This speaks to the vast reach of his dominion. The discovery of opium biomarkers such as noscapine, morphine, and papaverine in this vase is not an isolated incident. Similar opiate residues were found in other alabaster vessels. Notably, they came from a merchant family's graves in Sedment, south of Cairo. These date back to the New Kingdom, as far as the 16th century BC. Opium use was not exclusive to kings, it was accessible to common folk. This raises questions about its role in daily life, medicine, or rituals. A poignant clue emerges from the tomb of Tutankhamun, who died in 1323 BC, decades after Howard Carter opened the sealed tomb. Chemist Alfred Lucas examined sticky residues inside Tutankhamun's alabaster vessels. He initially assumed it was perfume. However, a different possibility exists. Distinct finger marks inside these jars suggest meticulous scraping. Someone was desperate to retrieve every last precious particle. This presents a different possibility. Whatever was held was important for a pharaoh's eternal rest. It was valuable enough for grave robbers to risk their lives. Evidence suggests opium remained in use for over 3,500 years. This sustained presence reshapes our understanding of ancient pharmacology and habits. Turning to the rugged landscape of the Golan Heights in Israel, a mysterious stone circle known as Regem El-Hiri has puzzled archaeologists for decades. Often called Israel's Stonehenge, it consists of a central mound. It is encircled by multiple concentric rings of stones. An estimated 40,000 tons of rock were assembled 6,500 years ago. At that time, the wheel had not yet been invented. Immense stones were transported by human effort alone. Likely, this was done with primitive sleds and ropes. Until recently, it was believed to be a singular, unique structure in the region. However, advanced remote sensing techniques dramatically altered this perception. They combine high-resolution satellite imagery with artificial intelligence. Israeli and international archaeologists processed images with AI. The program identified patterns invisible to the human eye. The results are striking. Within 16 miles of Regem El-Hiri, 28 other nearly identical stone circles have been discovered. This transformation from a solitary anomaly to a widespread phenomenon opens new avenues of inquiry. The precise purpose of these structures remains elusive. Perhaps they were ritual spaces, gathering points, or nomadic markers. Their sheer number points to a significant, coordinated effort. It is a profound archaeological mystery, now multiplied by 29. The very boundaries of human civilization are also expanding beneath the waves. For generations, Ice Age humans were viewed as nomadic hunter-gatherers, constantly moving across landscapes. The idea of settled, thriving societies during this period seemed contradictory to conventional thought. Yet, the collaborative Subnautica project is challenging this assumption. It involves scientists and explores the North Sea. Their research indicates that 8,200 years ago, a flourishing human civilization existed in a submerged region. 20,000 years ago, global sea levels were 400 feet lower. This exposed a vast, fertile land bridge. It connected what is now the UK and mainland Europe. This land, known as Doggerland, was ideal for prehistoric settlement. As Ice Age glaciers began their dramatic melt, global temperatures rose, and sea levels ascended rapidly and without pause. Human societies in Doggerland faced irreversible displacement. Their lands were swallowed by the encroaching North Sea. No intact palaces or temples have yet been discovered. However, the project unearthed numerous artifacts, including canoes and human remains. This definitively proves a settled human presence. The Subnautica project employs advanced AI tools, seismic and acoustic surveys. Sophisticated seabed mapping is also used. It is systematically charting this vast underwater landscape. This promises to reveal the full scope of a lost civilization. Lost not to conquest, but to nature's relentless, transforming power. Finally, in a curious case that highlights the precision of modern science, DNA sequencing resolved a debate about a Roman-era woman in southern England. In 2012, a skeleton was found in Eastbourne Town Hall's basement. It dated between 129 and 311 AD. Initially dubbed Beachy Head Woman, early analysis suggested complex ancestry. Claims ranged from sub-Saharan African to Cypriot origins. This prompted discussions about Britain's ancient multicultural tapestry. Previous DNA technologies lacked resolution for definitive answers. Her true origins remained shrouded in conjecture. Recently, Dr. William Marsh and his team re-examined the skeleton. Their findings delivered a quiet, yet definitive, conclusion. The Beachy Head Woman carried local population genetic ancestry. She was, in essence, a local, indistinguishable from others living in Roman Britain during her lifetime. This outcome, less exotic than earlier theories, underscores modern DNA analysis capabilities. It resolves historical puzzles with unparalleled clarity. Roman contact with Britain began with Julius Caesar's expedition in 55 BC. This led to a full-scale invasion under Emperor Claudius in the 1st century AD. Over centuries, Roman Britain expanded from southern coasts northwards. They even attempted to hold territory beyond Hadrian's Wall. This was a testament to the empire's reach. The Beachy Head Woman's story is brought into sharp focus. New scientific tools reveal profound insights. Even individual lives, long obscured by time, offer insights. These insights reveal the fabric of ancient societies.